Educating provides knowledge. The knowledge makes you great. It's indeed a privilege to welcome you all to this one-day online faculty development program on virtual learning platform for experimental science. The aim of education is the knowledge, not of facts, but of values. It is an occasion like this we get opportunity to test and mold our knowledge and understanding. Institutions are not constituted by financial resources, but it requires the commitment and willpower of noble minds to create such an edifice of excellence. I feel it as an honor to invite a tireless personality who has been shaping our institution in unscalable heights. I invite Dr. K. Satyabama, Director of Self-Financing Courses, APC Mahalakshmi College for Women, to welcome the gathering. Ma'am.
Thank you. Honorable Secretary, respected Principal, distinguished Chief Guest, my dear faculty members and my dear participants, good morning, one and all. On this morning, I am deeply honored to welcome you all for this one-day faculty development program on virtual learning platform for experimental science organized by the Department of Physics of our APC Mahalakshmi College for Women, Thuthukudi. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to our today's chief guest, Dr. Meena, Assistant Professor of Physics, ST Hindu College, Nagargoil, who has very kindly consented to be our resource person of this FDP. I know your presence in this FDP will fill the ambience and with splendor, and it will turn out to be a memorable day. APC Mahalakshmi College for Women has always craved for excellence in every field of education. The main theme of this FDP is to enrich the knowledge of faculties through interaction with eminent personalities from academics. Digitalization is the biggest tool for changing society at the present time. I know technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers is transformational. I hope you will have a fruitful session today. I would like to extend my welcome to the faculty members from various schools and colleges for this FDP. Also, I appreciate the faculty members of Physics Department who have shaped this event into a reality. Dear participants, we expect the same love and cooperation from all of you in future programs also. So once again, I am welcome you all for this faculty development program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I invite Mrs. R. Sriyabhadra Harida, HOD, Department of Physics, APC Mahalakshmi College for Women, to give an intro of a resource person. Ma'am, please.
Suya, unga mic unmute panala.
Yeah, ma'am.
Suya?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. It's a great privilege for me to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. M. Meena, Assistant Professor of Physics from ST Hindu College, Nagarkoil. She completed her graduation and doctorate in the very same college where she is working now. Her area of specialization is solid state physics and nanoscience. At present, she is guiding for 3 research scholars. She has written numerous articles and also published about 10 papers in science citation index journals with a good H and index. Then she has been a board of studies member in Nurul Islam University and also a member in Kanyakumari All Science Society. Today she is going to elaborate about the topic virtual learning platform for experimental science. I think she is the right person to explain it because I happened to attend one of the webinar of a resource person during this lockdown period. I was very much impressed and I thought to make a program with her. I approached her without any negligence. She accepted my greetings. Thank you very much, Meena ma'am, for that. Now I can end up my talk with an admirable quote. If your actions inspire others to bring more, let's learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader. Once again, I repeat, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, shall I share my screen?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Now it's the time for the presentation of the resource person, Dr. Meena. Over to you, ma'am. Meena, ma'am. Kindly
Yes,
share,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am, can you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to view my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Shall we start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So, good morning to everyone. First of all, I thank Dr. K. Satyabama, Director, APC Mahalakshmi College, Thuthukudi, and through APCV Chokalingam sir, President of the college, and Dr. N. Meena Kumari, the Principal of the college, Thuthukudi, for giving me a wonderful opportunity during this lockdown period to contact my colleagues as well as the research scholars, faculty members of other colleges and various schools, etc. So I extend my heartfelt thanks to the management and also the head of the department, Mrs. Suya Badra Harida, and also all the members of physics department who have contacted me for this FDP program during this period. We all know the technology play an important role in society today. It affects the way the individual can communicate, learn, and think. Notice how our lives are surrounded by the gadgets and the teen appliances. But the way we live has changed immeasurably since March 2020. When COVID-19 began, hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Carry on, ma'am.
Meena, ma'am. No problem. You carry on, ma'am.
Okay. So from March 2020, COVID-19 spreading rapidly throughout the world, and most of us are at home using the tools like Zoom, Google Meet, etc., to stay in touch with colleagues as well as with our institution. So this pandemic situation tremendously affects the life of not only the human beings, but also the animals, plants, etc. So now in this situation, we are in turn to find a new way of learning as well as the teaching process. Because for the past 90 days, we are at lockdown and all the educational institution, teachers as well as students are in home. So we need to find what is the way to learn as well as to teach our students in a more secure as well as in a safety manner. So here it is the platform to learn what are the ways that exist already in our technological meet to explain the experimental part of our science platform.
Why are you taking this seminar on Chinese app?
Because as a science teacher, we must know the most difficult part of our teaching as well as the learning process of the student is the experiments. Because in most of the science, whether it is physics, chemistry, zoology, or botany, computer science, maths, etc., all the students are not have a same stuff to learn it in a single experimental class. But our problem is the allotted time for lab is only 2 or 3 hours for UG and for 5 hours for PG. So within that stipulated period, we must explain what is the concept of our experimental concept and what the students are going to do, and we have to make them to do the experiment as they want, and they must know what is the outcome of that experiment. So in most of the cases, it is a interesting as well as a critical challenge in front of each and every So in my talk today, I'm going to not to teach, but I just introduce an idea of virtual labs, how you can use that platform for explaining not only the experiments to science, but also to the concepts of physics, science, chemistry, biology, maths, even for social science and English also, you can use this concept to explain your talks. So my first slide shows you the motivation of this talk. So when you completely trust another person, you will end up with one of two outcomes: a friend for life or a lesson for life. So I assure you that at the end of this session, you must have any of these one, and someone may get both. So I assure you, my talk will not be a boring one, because for the past 3 months, we are attending so many webinars. We are sitting in front of the screen and hearing, learning, teaching someone else, or we are learning from someone else. So in that process, we get bored while it is not out of the concept. So here I should very much intended to my topic, and I assure you, for a lesson or a friend. So what is the objective of this talk? It is not clearly not a learning process. You just keep it in mind. We are going to discuss an idea, and I am going to make you some ideas how you can teach hereafter in a classroom rather than a regular chalk and chalk method. Because most of our physics as well as the science teachers are familiarized with the chalk and chalk method, because of unknowing the technological tools available for our subjects. So here is the aim to explain what are the tools we can use in our own classrooms to make our children to learn the concepts and phenomena of our subject more easily as well as more interestingly. So when we interact with the students of first year in colleges, most of the students won't come to that particular subject like physics, chemistry, or botany or zoology with their own interest. Normally, their parents or their teachers or their relatives, someone pushed them into that subject to learn for their future work like jobs. So here we have an idea to make them interest to learn. எப்போ ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கு அவங்களா லேர்ன் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வருதோ, அப்போ they will learn more interestingly. That interest can be created with the help of these VLabs. That is the main aim of our lecture, to introduce the concept of Newbill. So what is the virtual lab? Here, the virtual laboratory is an interactive environment for creating, conducting stimulated experiments. So here we are going to use a new platform of laboratory to explain our concept, and the students can able to do their experiments from their home without the help of real instruments and an instructor. So that is the main importance of this one. So virtual laboratory is just like a playground of experimentation. So why we need a virtual lab? Because the teachers don't have to go to lab at certain times and move from place to place to prepare the experiment, that we know. So once a teacher is engaged in a lab, she can't able to move anywhere else because of the experiments as well as the difficulties of keeping that student inside the lab is the most important as well as a difficult thing. Second one, a student can conduct many experiments without any constraint to place or time, in contrast to the constraints of real lab. Because in lab, we have a time stipulation. Second one, mostly the teachers, those who are handling the labs, will instruct the students, don't touch any instrument unless otherwise it is in the place of your experiment. So we are strictly instructing the students not to use the instruments for other works. So the students are very much interrupted to she or he can only use certain apparatus for certain stipulated period of time. That is a restriction what we are given to the students because of the costly equipments, as well as we have to responsible for all the apparatus kept inside the lab during that particular period. But here in virtual labs, there were no more constraints for the students to using these apparatus, and he can able to handle any types of instruments at any number of times at any where. So it is a most cost effective technique to make our students to do the experiments repeatedly until they can able to understand the concept clearly. So what are the salient features of our labs? Teachers don't have to go to the lab at certain time and move from place to place to prepare the experiments. So it is a cost effective one. The salient features, anytime, anywhere lab. At whatever may be the time, we can able to use these V labs. Virtual labs are free to use. There are no more cost for using these labs, accessible through internet on any PC and laptops. So only requirement for using these virtual labs or one computer or a laptop, even the smartphones or tablet can be used nowadays, and it is developed on the basis of self-learning mode. That means even without the teacher, the students can able to get what is the theory behind the experiment and what are the apparatus required for that experiment, what is the procedure of doing that experiment, and he can perform the experiment. After performing the experiment, he can able to get the viva voce questions to understand his knowledge about that particular experiment, and he can able to submit his or have feedback immediately at the end of the session. So these are the salient features of using the V labs, and it is the innovative experimentation. So it is a first initiation made by our MHRD. So what are the benefits of using these V labs? It is flexible access. So there is no constraints. So either a student or a teacher can even access these V labs at any time. Instant feedback, they can able to give their feedbacks openly at all the experiments. Top-notch equipments. So since these V labs are under technological constraint, each and every institute are trying to make the newly available apparatus for doing that particular experiment. This is one of the most highlighted benefits of using V labs, because most of the faculties, those who are the participants here, can work in the high sophisticated institution, as well as most of us are in aided and government schools, where in the remote areas, we don't have much facilities to use the high technological equipments for certain experiment. So in that cases, the students as well as the teacher will suffer more for performing that particular experiment. So here we can overcome that difficulty by using the top-notch equipment, which is the sophisticated equipment without spending much cost, is the benefit of V lab. And the last one, it is a lower cost, because as we know, to construct any science lab, we have to spend more and more for purchasing the equipments, for creating the electrical connections, and to develop the infrastructures. We need to spend in lakhs to develop a well good lab. Here, without spending much cost, it is with a one-time investment, our government has demonstrated and establish these VLab organizations. So what are the most basic benefits and the basic idea of this VLab concept? So you look at the slide. Here we are having one physical lab. It may be constructed anywhere in the country like IITs or NITs. In between the user and the lab, we are having an intermediator called as the internet. So from that internet, more remote users, that is n number of users, can access this lab with the help of our PC or laptops or smartphones. So that is the basic idea of developing our VLabs. So what are the objective of developing this VLab project? The most important idea is to provide remote access to labs in various disciplines of science and engineering. So even a village student can able to access these labs from their own place where it is situated. Even suppose we are having a high equipped national laboratory in Delhi, we are up here at the southern part of India, we can able to access that national lab with the help of our own virtual lab. Second objective is to cater the students at the UG level or the PG level as well as the research scholars. So not only for UG and PG, nowadays these virtual labs are also constructed as O labs. That means online labs for the help and sake of students in school from 8 to 12. For below the class 8, they are under construction for their own experiments. And the third objective, to enable the student to learn at their own pace and to arouse their curiosity, because nowadays the students are more bright than the teachers to learn from the technology, because we are from the last decade, but the that is the 2K kids are more sharp to learn from technology. If you give a smartphone, they will know most features of that phone than the parents. So that is the ability of the students to learn from their technology. So when we give these labs, they will use that virtual lab platform as a game playground, because the students are and the children are mostly interested to play games in their smartphones. So in the same way, they can arouse their curiosity to learn their subject also. So to provide a complete learning management system, this includes the web resources, video lectures, animated demonstration, and also the self-evaluation. That is called as the complete learning management system. So we never spend any cost. We can able to learn our own experiments with the help of PC and internet. So what are the types of VLabs? There are basically 3 types of VLabs are there. The first one is the modeling based simulation. Second one is the measurement based one. Third one is the remote triggered. The first 2, that is the modeling simulation as well as the measurement based simulation, can be used without any time slots for all the users from school as well as the colleges. Whereas the remote triggered VLabs are mainly constructed for the purpose of research. So through this, we can able to use all the equipments which are available for research like XRD, UV, PL, VSM, etc., which are costly to purchase. So we can able to assess these instruments which are available in national laboratories from our own PC. So that is the concept of remote triggered VLabs. So why we have purchased these types of virtual labs? You look at his closer to reality. It is very close to the real lab experiment. How the students are doing their own experiments in the lab. The same almost 95% reality can also be get to through this platform also. So the first lab is called as the modeling or simulation lab, which is the platform where all our experiments are modeled with the help of mathematical equations and using this, we can able to stimulate the different kinds of concepts. I have given an example, wave propagation. So in physics, we discussed about the wave propagation, alai paravudal. So what is called the wave propagation? There are two types of wave. One is called as the transverse wave and the second one is called as the longitudinal wave. The transverse wave do not require a medium for its propagation, whereas the longitudinal waves needs a medium for its propagation. So when these waves pass through the medium, how the atoms or molecules of the medium get distracted when the wave get passed. For example, if you take an example of sound propagation. So when the sound wave pass through the medium, the molecules of the medium get compressed and refract. So that compression and refraction cannot be explained with the help of our words or chalk and chalk method. But we can able to make the students to see it reality, how the waves can propagate it through the medium with the help of these spiritual labs. So I will show you how it can be stimulated. The second one is measurement based V labs. So here, this is the actual system, what is very much useful for the UG, PG as well as the school students. So these labs provide the corresponding measurement data for the experiments previously carried out on an actual system. So these labs are closer to the real world experiment than the simulation based lab because they deliver to the students measurement data from real equipment. Because suppose if you are having a lab on tomorrow means you can train the students with the help of these V labs to know how to perform that experiment and what is the outcome of this experiment and what are the results you are going to take from the real lab. So once the student is clear with these data, they have some real concept oriented when they are coming into the lab. So without knowing anything, when the students are in front of the equipments, they don't know how to do that experiment in the stipulated period of time. So with the help of these measurement based V labs, we can make the students to know about the experiments clearly. And the last one is remote triggered V labs. So as I explained earlier, these remote triggered V labs are highly useful for the participants who are doing research in various disciplines of science. So suppose if you are having an instrument at Amarda Vidyalayam in Coimbatore, you can able to book a slot for using that experiment priorly through your mail. Once you get the time slot, within that time slot, you can able to access the equipment from your computer. So after completing your experiments, you can get the output of the experiment in your email from the host. So that is the remote triggered V labs. What is the advantage of remote triggered V labs? Now those who are doing research in their area, we simply sending the sample to the national laboratories. After performing the experiment, they are sending the result. We are using that result for our research and publishing papers as well as for submitting our thesis. But we do not know what is the actual accuracy of the data given by the host institution. Without knowing the exact accuracy, we are using that data for our future work. In remote triggered V labs, the candidate who are doing research can able to perform the same experiment in the same equipment, but instead of some other else in the host institution, we can perform from our home itself. That is the purpose of using these remote triggered V labs. So using this concept, without spending much amount, we can able to use a single equipment all over the world to assess the same. So here, with the help of lower cost, we can able to perform a high accuracy research. That is the major concept of using these remote triggered V labs. So what are the broad areas covered under these V labs? Here are the areas: electronics and communication engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, chemical engineering, biomedical, biotechnology, chemical science, as well as the physical science. So almost all areas of science are covered under these classification. So a few online tools what we can able to use without cost is VLab, what we are going to explain in our upcoming slides. And the second one, that is the PSpice or Multisim. It is highly useful for doing the electronic circuits. So those who are handling the electronics paper for simulating and to constructing the circuits, we can either use PSpice or the Multisim. Next one is Colorado. It is also the simulation based online tool where we can create our own concept of simulation. That is, if you want to explain the concepts of basic physics like collision, elastic collision, inelastic collision, momentum. So we can use that with the help of these simulation. And the next one is Algodo. It is also the simulation software, not only for physics, but also for all the science one. And the Proxy Labs. In Proxy Labs, like VLabs, they are having the different discipline-wise experimental simulation concepts for biology, maths, science, physics, chemistry, as well as for English. Labster, that is also the students' version, but the teachers can also use these tools to explain the experimental science as well as their basic concepts of their own discipline. So here is a site for registering your VLab. This is the MHRD maintained site, Virtual Labs. So when you click on this VLab, www.vlab.co.in, you will get this screen. So in this, you can able to use all the experiments with either you have a login ID. Without login ID also you can able to explain most of the experiments, but for few experiment we must register in this website to get a login ID. You look at here the participating institute at the left side of the slide. There are all IITs. So mainly this site was maintained with the help of IITs, NITs and deemed universities like Amrita. So you look at here. Here is the registration process for VLab. Here you just either a teacher or a school faculty or a college professor or a student. Those who are willing to use these VLab, you can use this registration form and fill up all your details. The only requirement you need is you have to give a phone number as well as your own email ID. So once you enter your email ID, it will ask you to generate a password. So generate a password, that email ID and the password generated by yourself in this will help you to log in inside your VLab experiments. So that is the only process you need. If you are an institutional head, you can also help your children by accepting your institution as a nodal center. So once your institution is a nodal center, you can able to get the login ID and password for all your children's through your institutional head ID. No need of children to do their registration individually. That is the advantage of acting as a nodal center for VLab registration. So our college, ST Hindu College, Nagarkoil, Kanyakumari district is acting as a nodal center for VLab for the past 5 years. So we are using this technology from 2015 onwards. So you can use this registration form to register on your site. So here, when you register and come inside the site, you can able to view the broad areas of virtual labs. Actually, in VLab, these experiments are classified into two types. One is based on their institution, those who are participated. You look at the bottom of the slide, the institutional emblems are there. So if you click on these institutions emblem, it will show what are the experiments demonstrated by their institution. Otherwise, we can able to assess these experiments with the help of the arranged discipline wise, like electrical engineering or mechanical engineering or chemical science or physical science. So rather through institution or to the discipline wise, we can able to assess these experiments. So here I just registered and I entered inside the website and I clicked on in the previous slide. If you look at the previous slide, we are having one stream like physical science. I just click on this physical science. As a physics teacher, I just took that as my platform. So physical science. So when I click on these physical science, there are so many available sub-disciplines of physical science are given here. So you look at here, it is the virtual astrophysics lab, advanced analytical chemistry lab, electricity and magnetism lab, mechanics lab, advanced mechanics lab, laser optics lab, heat and thermodynamics, modern physics, solid state, etc. So many sub-disciplines are created under the head of physical science. All the subdiscipline and those who are their host institution. You look at here, this first one, that is the virtual astro lab. It was constructed and it was maintained by IIT Kharagpur. So like this way, those who are the host institution is given at this site, and what are the labs available for our physical science are listed here. So from this list, we can choose our own requirements. So here I have choose the laser optics. That is one of the my favorite area. So I just took it as the optics virtual lab. So when I clicked, this optics virtual lab was maintained by ballistic galvanometers or for in microscope. So the most problem is the optics. Other than this optic also, we are having other experiments. So I will come later for the other disciplines also, like chemistry, biology, as well as maths. So as physicists, I just started with my own subject, physics. So here we are having the different experiments. Look at here, the resolving power of the prism, angle of the prism, spectrometer, I dash, and spectrometer ID curve, Cartesian constant, Hartmann's constant. All the experiments have listed out. So we can able to explain what are the processes when happen in a real lab in the previous day itself with the help of these B labs. Now optical experiments நம்ம explain பண்ணும்போது ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்க்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய மெயின் சந்தேகமே வெர்னியர் ஏல எப்படி ரீடிங் எடுக்கிறது, how to measure in vernier B. That is the problem. So with the help of these B labs, we can make them clear, because in a knowledge spectrometer இருக்கும் சில labsல, but we want to make 20 students to do that. So they don't have a time to perform the experiment individually. That is a main problem faced by all the science teachers. We do not have the individual apparatus for each and every students. But when they come to perform their lab exams, they suffer how to do the experiment, because when in their group someone or any student is smart enough to carry out the experiment within that 2 hours, she will perform and others will note down the readings. That is the main problem of all the teachers. But here we can able to make each and individual students to carry out their own experiment and note down their own readings individually. That is the well good benefit of using this V labs. So you look at here, I have choose difficult experiment of Cartesian constant. As we know, Cartesian constant, it was performed with the 2 subdivisions. The first one, we need to find what is the angle of the prism. Second one, we need to find the minimum deviation angle for each and every color of the mercury spectrum. So when we explain it in a lab with the hour of 2 hours, we just explain what is the procedure of doing that and how to perform the experiment and how the students can note down the readings. These are the instructions given by a teacher or a lab instructor. But here, the student can able to learn from the theory. So here, aim, apparatus and theory is given. So he can able to know, and also he can use this spot to write their lab manuals or their records or observations. So before coming into the lab, the students can able to know what is the experiment he will do in the next class, and he must know what are the apparatus and how the theory of that experiment. So if he or she will clear with this theory, when he come to the lab, he will get what the teacher is explaining clearly. So this is the theory slide. So here they have given the Kathi, who was named after this scientist with the name Kathis. So the students can able to identify the scientists who have contributed more to their science. So with this, they will start from the theory. So after reading the theory behind that experiment, he will go to the procedure slide. So here in procedure, how to do the experiment in real lab, as well as how to perform that same experiment in virtual lab. Both are given. So that is the added advantage of the students. How they will do in real lab and how to perform in their computers, they will learn clearly. The next one, here I will use the simulator slide. You look at the previous slide. Here we have an icon called simulator. So simulator used to help our teacher or a student to perform their experiments in the lab. So when I click on this simulator, I just got my spectrometer. So my own spectrometer, this is only for me. So I am going to do my experiment individually. You look at the first slide. Here there will be no image. I just using this side icon. You look at the slide. Here I have the focusing telescope. When I start focusing my telescope, the distant image is going to be visible at my telescope view. But till in the second slide also, my start button is invisible or it is disabled. It is not at enable, which shows that the image focused by me is not at clear to fix my telescope's focusing position. It is impossible in real lab. நம்ம real labல இதே experiment நீங்க perform பண்ணும்போது students distant object focus பண்ணுங்கன்னா அவன் ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டை வந்து ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி வைப்பான். அவனோட பார்வைக்கு அதுதான் clear. Okay, she will get back the telescope to focus your slit. So here, until the telescope come to exact focusing, we could not able to start our next step. That is the advantage of using the real lab than VLab than the real lab. அப்ப ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கு தெரியுது இன்னும் இந்த டெலஸ்கோப்பை வந்து ஃபர்தரா கிளியர் ஃபோக்கஸிங்க்கு கொண்டு வர முடியும் அப்படிங்கறத student as well as the teachers or the instructor can able to learn. So when the focusing is clear, the start button becomes enabled. So after enabling the start button, I just get my telescope. So now my telescope is ready after focusing with a distant object. So when I switch on my light, here is a button, switch off my light. So I already switch on the light and the light is here. We can able to adjust the slits width as well as the focusing, same as what we have do with the collimator slit. So once we adjust the width of the collimator slit, we can able to adjust the slit width also. Here also we have the focusing slit as well as the slit width. So here we have the button called as remove prism, because I already placed the prism. You look at here, the prism is placed in front of the collimator. The rough side is based with the two hooks. Now we are having two vernier A and vernier B scales. Most of the students have the confusion with these vernier A and vernier B, because when we perform this experiment in a dark room, most of the students, those who are having these sight problems, they can't able to see where is the main scale reading and where is the vernier scale reading. But here, this measurement option, here I have focused this the prism's position to get the diffraction patterns. So here, instead of changing in a real lab, we just turn this vernier table, circular table, to rotate the table, adjust the vernier turntable and keep the colors in minimum deviation. After performing the minimum deviation experiment, I just coincide the crosswire with my blue color and I noted the reading of one scale. Here we can able to note where is the vernier 0 and what is the main scale before and behind that. So that is the most error while doing the spectrometer experiment. Students all identify பண்ண முடியாது அது 240 ஆ 260 ஆ. ஏன்னா சில நேரம் நம்மளோட ரியல் லேப் எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட்ஸ்ல அந்த சைடு இருக்கிற மெஷர்மென்ட் என்ன அப்படிங்கறத ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் பார்க்க மாட்டாங்க. So he may able to write the reading wrongly. ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் இருக்கும். எல்லா எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட்டும் கரெக்டா பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிருப்பான், பட் அவனால ரீடிங் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண முடியாம இருக்கும். சோ அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்க்கு நம்ம இந்த வி லேப்ல வந்து ரைட் த ரீடிங் முன்னாடி அவனால so this with the help of this this one I can able to explain. So the same thing for chemistry. For chemistry also you can I just created the whole B lab and O lab. Not have much knowledge about the labs, they explained with the help of these videos. And finally, after making the simulation, we can use these vivos. So when the students answer these questions, they can understand their knowledge about the experiment, what they performed in the past hours. So here are the resources where we can use the references and the student can able to fill their feedback about this experiment to the host institution. So here I have chosen the decomposition reaction. You look at here the type of reaction. Here we are having two types, dermal decomposition as well as the electric decomposition. Select the sample. They have listed some samples. So after selecting the samples, we can start the experiments. So once I chosen the copper carbonate as my sample, You look at here, that experiment is also given. So after selecting this type of the reaction as well as the sample, we can perform the reaction. So here we are having for thermal decomposition, we need heat and a test tube with a holder, and the copper carbonate sample is also here. In the next slide, you just look at it. I just taken the sample inside the test tube. In my previous slide, the test tube is empty. So when I click on this spatula, I can able to took the sample and I put it on this test tube. So the test tube contained the sample. When I click on this notch, the lamp get fired. So after get firing, I have to place this test tube over this fire. So here the time clock starts. Decomposition reaction started after a particular stipulated period of time. Look at the sample. Now the color of the sample get changed, and they have given there an information. The copper carbonate decomposes at about 290 degrees Celsius, giving off carbon dioxide and leaving carbon 2 oxide. So what is the advantage of using this? You can take your laptops or your smartphones and just display these B-labs in the classroom itself. No need to take the children to the lab, so they can easily able to enter, because the visualization is the best way of teaching and learning process. Once the students can see that one, that will give them to remember for a long time. So it is just they noted the color of copper carbonate, and after the decomposition, the color of copper 2 oxide. So both colors get varied because of the decomposition reaction. So when carbon dioxide left out the sample. So in this way, you can able to perform all the other experiments in the labs too. So for examples of biology, so in biology also, you can just click on the B-lab or the O-labs. From the beginning page or in the home page, you can able to choose your own examples. Here I just took my example as osmosis, because as a physics teacher, I don't have much knowledge about biology. I just chosen this one. From my school days, I studied about what is called osmosis. It is nothing but the movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration through here. So here also there is a theory, procedure, animation and simulator. Then we can able to view the video with Vivos. So here I just take a potato. When you click on this animation lab, they will give the explanation of how to perform these experiments. They will take a potato, just peel off that one, and then they make a hole inside the potato. So just like how to do the with beard, we will join in a school, but we don't have any exposure as a lab instructor. So we don't know how to perform an experiment or how to do the solution making or the cell preparation, etc. So with that B-lab, we can able to know how to perform the pre-requirements for the lab. So that will also, so that will the thing. So here I made a petri dish with some water of sugar solution, and I placed the potato which peeled off and with a hole at its center. So here is a time clock, and I have to choose what is the concentration of sugar in petri dish as well as in the potato. So after that, I have to start the experiment. So here is a cross-sectional view to know how the water is getting movement from higher concentration to lower concentration. Then only the students can able to know at what time how much amount of molecule has moved from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, which is not at all possible inside the classroom. Classroomla nammala explain panna mattumda mudiyume thavara student ala directa adha vandu view panna mudiyadu. But here with the help of this cross sectional view, they can able to view So here I just placed a nail to identify the starting level of water inside the potato. So after performing, here you look at the clock, it is at 0. So when I perform the experiment, after a particular stipulated time, you look at here the nail where I placed at the starting concentration. Now the level inside the potato will lower. That means the water is going from potato to the petri dish. So these are the B-Lab concepts. I will show you the simulation, how we can perform in B-Labs.
Yes, ma'am, you carry on. ma'am.
Okay. So here, this is a spectrometer determination of B-Labs. I just explained here. This is the aim, apparatus, and theory of equation is also given. I just click on the next slide, which is a procedure, how to do the experiment. So here are the controls and procedure for real lab, as well as how to find the least count of our spectrometer. There are two parts of the experiment. First one is the angle of the prism. Second one is the angle of minimum deviation, how to find. So here is the tabulation to note the readings, so the students can able to note here itself. So next one is a simulator. So I click on the simulator. Here I want to log in. So you just click on the login. I just going to give my ID and the password what I have. So I just allow my flash player to enable the simulation. You look at here, my spectrometer without any image. So I start focusing my spectrometer. So here is the flip. I'm going to focus it. So once you use this, just focusing, you look at the image on the telescope, it's just going to be get clear. So I am just focusing again. So now my start button gets enabled. So that means I just place my telescope in the exact position. So now click on the start button. So the same telescope is here. I'm going to switch on this light. So when I switch on this light, I get a blurred image. So I need to focus the slit. So once I focus the slit, the image on the telescope get cleared. So now the image is a fine line, and I'm going to adjust the slit width if you need it. So you just place your slit width. So I just keep this as my slit width. So now I'm going to place the prism. Before that, there will be no element on the turntable. So now I am going to place my prism. So I just place my prism. So once the prism is placed, there will be no image because the rough face is showing towards the telescope. So there will be no image on the visibility of your telescope. So now I'm going to rotate my telescope. You look at here, we are getting an arrow of red color. So you can able to turn the telescope towards the right or towards the left to get the slits on the sides. So I'm just rotating. You look at the visibility of the telescope. So once I'm getting the slits, so just fixed it. So it is not exactly coincide with the center cross wire. So here, you look at here, there is a column called finals. So we can able to fix the fine angles by placing this one exactly at the middle. So after placing this one, now we want to note what is the Vernier A reading and what is the Vernier B reading. So you just move on your cursor towards this Vernier scale. So I just moving on to this Vernier scale. You look at here. Here is the, in the measurement column, we can able to see what is the main scale reading and what is the Vernier scale reading clearly. So now the students can able to of procedure column. And here also we can able to see what is the performing this one. I'm going to take the next one. So remove the prism. So again, I'm going to place the prism. Now we want to do the second part of the experiment. After measuring the angle of the prism on one side, you just move the second one on to the next side. Now again, you note the readings. After this one, we have to do the second part of the one. For the second part, we have to place the prism table or the prism for minimum deviation position. So for that, I am rotating this vernier table. Okay. So for that, I am moving this vernier table. So when the vernier table is adjusted, just turn the vernier table rough face. So when we are moving your telescope towards your rough face, we will get the colors. Look at here. So we are obtaining the diffracted image of the colors. Now, again, we want to do, that means we have to turn the table towards for its minimum deviation. So for that, I am not at all going with the vernier table angle. I am just going with the fine angle, so we can able to see clearly the colors going and get back at some point. So here, just turning off. So I am just stopping here. Now again, you move the telescope and make the crosswise to coincide with each and every colors and note down the reading. So this is an example how to perform these experiments. So other than the experiments, another one example I have chosen as the physics labs mainly the additive. So once you switch on it, it will make the galvanometers and voltmeters to us shutting off. And the problem avoid connect and what is the device to measure. There is a procedure how to do the experiments. So we know we must measure the balancing length and what are the materials required for here. And next slide is the animation slide. So here is the animation, how they are going to perform. You just watch this experiment. Next, they place all the apparatus required for this particular experiment. So after performing, they are explaining what are the elements. So rheostat, battery or the accumulator. This is a potentiometer and the Daniell cell. Next one is a Lagrange cell because we need two cells for comparing the EMF. This is a two-way key and a higher resistance, galvanometer, and then we have a jockey. So here they are performing how to connect. So the students can learn how they can connect their apparatus. So with the help of a wire, they are using. So the two-way apparatus, two-way keys are connected to identification. For the identification of two cells, they have given the two colored wire, one for the cell 1 and another one is for cell 2. So our apparatus circuit connections are made. When you put the key, you look at here, when we move the rheostat, the current in the ammeter showing what is the amount of current is circulated in the potentiometer. Now in a two-way key, I put one key to connect my first cell. And when the jockey is moved over the, it's for wire 4, wire 5, wire 6, they are moving. So in wire 6, from left to right, they can able to see the difference of how the potential difference is varying when the balancing length is increased or by decreased. So once the jackie, how we have to measure the length. So this tabulation, we need to record our readings. So they measured the balancing length for the first cell, and now the key is placed on the second one. The jacket is moved. Now also the potentiometer, we have to measure the balancing length for the second cell. So after completing one set of reading, they are adjusting the rheostat to change the current. So when the current is changed, the balancing length is also get changed. Now the students can able to measure the second set of readings. So this is the animation. So this video will help the instructor as well as the students to know how to perform the experiment. Now I will start with my simulation. Wait a second. So there's a problem with my internet, I think so. So they are performing. So the result is shown. So let me come later to this one. Once again, I come to this slide. Later, I will show you how to perform in simulation for the potentiometer. So here I have explained the things, how to use these one for finding physics as well as chemistry and biology to perform the VLab experiment. And the next one is for max. So here in VLabs, they have constructed the experiments for lab also, Max also. In Max, they have base mathematical concepts are explained with the help of VLabs. Here I have choose one example as area of circle. As teachers, we know what is the formula for to find the area of the circle. So it is nothing but pi r square. But we don't know how to get these values pi r square other than the Max teachers. So we can perform our simulation. We can perform our simulation. Hello.
மீனா மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேம். மீனா மேம் ஆடிபிளா இல்ல.
Hello, ma'am, it is audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you able to see my screen?
No, ma'am. Kindly share your screen, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes.
Is it visible?
Ma'am, your face is visible, but your PPT is not visible, ma'am.
Can you visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Can it be visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. So here we have draw a circle, and then that was divided into 16 sectors. So all the sectors are arranged here. So click on the next button to divide it into 2 groups. So I just, here is my instruction is there. So I click on the next button. So now the 2 groups are clicked. So now I am going to click on this blue color. So here is the next instruction. We have to drag it, and when it was dragged, I just going to drag the colors. So now it is converted into the parallelogram. So segments are tracked to form the parallelogram. Now click on the leftmost wedge. So I just going to click on my leftmost wedge. So I just going to move and place it here. So now it is just converted it as a rectangle. We know the area of the rectangle is length into breadth. So the entire breadth is half of the circumference of the circle, because it was the segments. The sector parts were created with the help of a circle. So the entire circle is of 2 colors. One is of blue and another one is of green. So the blue color segment, the entire length is equal to half of the circumference. So we have put it as 2 pi r divided by 2, and the leftmost portion is just cut it as a wedge and placed it on the right side. So the breadth of this rectangle is equal to the radius of the circle. So we know the length as well as the breadth. So when you substitute it on the area of the rectangle, we will get what is the formula for area of the circle, that is pi r square. So we know the radius of the circle initially when we draw, it is as 2.99 centimeter. So the area of the circle is calculated as 28.07 square centimeter. So in this way, for mathematical concept like curve fitting, graph drawing, trigonometrical calculations, you can able to use these VLabs. There are so many branches are there in Maths 2. So Maths teachers can use this platform for explaining their basic concept as well as the formula making in VLab. So the next is the other online labs what are available for the teachers. The next one I'm going to show you is AlgoDo. So already I have registered. It is a free online software. You just search in Google with the name of AlgoDo. So once you get that, you just click on it. You will get the screen like this. Just close this one. So here I have the toolbox. So you look at here, I have the toolbox on my side, and right side we have some boxes. You just first click on this materials. So the list of materials are there. List of materials are there. Glass, gold, helium, ice, rubber, steel, stone, wood, etc. Their parameters as well as the properties are also listed here. So for a simplicity, I will make one thing. I just going to draw a rectangle with a rectangular tool, so we can able to fix our length as well as the breadth of the rectangle. So I just placed it. Now I just click on this. Here is an icon. You just click on this. Now it was selected. Now we can take any of the material. So I will take this as glass. Now you look at here, the material is changed into glass. So here, what is the density of the glass, what is the mass, and what is the friction produced, what is the restitution is given on these properties. Now I am going to use a laser tool, laser pen. So I am going to draw this laser pen. So you look at here, I just place my laser pen. So when the light from the laser falls on this glass, it gets refracted. So the path of refraction is shown. So once if you want to change the position of your incident ray, you can able to rotate it. Here is a tool for rotation. So we can able to rotate the tool, and we can able to move the tool also. Just now I am going to move this tool. So here you look at here, I just moving the tool. So when it is placed, you look at here. So I just placed. Now we can see the material properties to the students by clicking on this icon and press this one to this material. I just pressed it. Now I change this material as ice. You now refer here. The path of the light rays get changed when the material is changed from glass to ice. So we can find the children's how it can be performed with concepts. So this is a simple experiment. We can stimulate whatever maybe you want to explain with the help of AlgoDo concepts. I will show you some videos because for the sake of time, I'll skip the original and I will show you the videos to perform. I'll show you the videos how to perform the AlgoDo for your physical concepts.
বুলু এখানে আয়
আপু আমি যে বললাম চেক করে নি করতে
So you look at here, they are drawing. So this concept, so the center button is to stimulate, so we can able to make the movements also. These are the options to fill the water. When you right click on the object, you will get these options. So here I am drawing 3 balls. Clone option is there. Now they are going to choose the materials. So one for stone and another one is for wood and the last one is for helium. So as you know, helium is the lighter one. It will fly off. The stone will move to the bottom of the beaker, and the wood, which is a floating one. So here we can explain how the materials flotation property is going to vary with respect to their densities. You look at the density of wood is very less. So it floats, whereas when you click on the next ball, that is the stone, the density is vary. So while you are varying the density also, you look at the wood ball is going to sink if you vary the density of the ball. So with the help of this one, we can explain how to use the concept of physics. It is very much helpful for mechanics as well as the social science and chemistry teachers to explain the concept of electrochemistry as well as the mechanical concepts. So many tutorial videos are available for AlgoDo in YouTube also. So the participant can make use of that. It is a free software. You can freely download it from Google and start exploring your concepts. After making a scene, you can able to save it and stimulate it. Then you will get that video. So that is one of the example for using the AlgoDo. And the next one, I will show you how to build a simple water fountain with the fun of AlgoDo. So this is making a water fountain. So again the same screen, they are going to draw with a rectangular tool. They are drawing a base. So we can fix what is the length and breadth we require. Now they are cloning. Instead of drawing another line, they are just cloning. Now rotating to the angle, they fix it. Okay. So after that, so this is on the other end. So now we made a container. So this is called the axial tool. We can fix the axials. So copying. Cloning. So they are making the external gear. We can fix the radius. Because we are at the lockdown period, as a science teachers, we couldn't able to take our students to the lab. For the last semester, we have made a crucial time at the end of this lockdown. So after these 3 to 4 months, students may not know even a single line in their labs. So you can make the students to learn or they recall their experiments with the help of these V labs. So they are making the water gear. They are making the axis. So after making this water gear, they fix it on the rod. So you look at here, the 2 rods are there. So now they are going to simulate it. Going to fill with water. So when they press the button of simulation, which is shown in green at the middle, so water fountain. I'll share all these videos as well as the tutorial website links in the chat box, or the host institution will share my PPT as well as the videos to all the participants. So the main aim of this session is to try to make all our concepts with the help of these technological tools to make our students to learn and use this for their future. So it is not always, you keep it in mind, never any technology can replace a teacher. So always we need the students to go ahead with the technology. எப்போதும் எந்த ஒரு டீச்சரையும் டெக்னாலஜி வந்து ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணவே முடியாது. அதே நேரம் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து மாடர்ன் லைஃபுக்கு தக்கன அவங்களை எக்யூப் பண்றது ஒவ்வொரு டீச்சருடைய ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி. ஸோ வி மஸ்ட் explain this to our students to make to learn through these B labs, to understand as well as to repeat their experiments until they have a clear knowledge about each and every experiments what they are learning in their UG or PG levels. So this is a way they are simulating, so students can able to learn when the speed is varying and making the medium is differed. What is the speed of the fountain and how the water will fall from the fountain. So this is another one. So this is a very interesting as well as the initiating software for all the science teachers. AlgoDo. You can do anything with AlgoDo. That is the importance of this. It's called a piece for constructing as well as simulating the electronic circuits. Not for school teachers. For 11th and 12th, we are having some basics of electronics like transistors, diodes, logic gates, etc. PSpice I will show you how to use with the help of online simulation. So in online, you just type as online simulation software, online simulation circuit. So you will get this one, you just click on it. Online circuit simulator. So when you click on this, you will get so many circuits. So here I have opened a sine to square wave converter. I made all the circuits. I will show you the video how to perform, because I'm very sorry my system is not supporting for this one. So I doesn't install that PSpice software in my system. So I show you the tutorial video. So in the tutorial video, you can able to understand how to explore this online simulation software. So it is a free software, very much useful for making the students to understand how to make the electronic circuits. So once the PSpice or Multisim is installed in your computer, you will get the capture CIS LIT file on your computer. So once you click on it, you will get like this. So these are the starting page of your software. If we already designed, we can open that design, or you are going to design mean you just click on the new design, then you will get this one. First select the PSpice analog or mixed analog to digital. You just click on that and then press it on OK. So I am creating a new file for making a new design. So this is the initial page of the PSpice or Multisim or Circuit VLab. These three are based on the same software SPICE. So all the concept of working with these softwares are same. We just get this board. We are going to place the components. Here in the toolbar, we are having a place button. So once you click on this place button, the list of equipments, that is resistor, what are the things you needed for making an electronic circuits will available on that list. From that list, you can able to choose the required apparatus. So you now look at here, when I click the place part, here the list of parts are available is given. So if I click R, the resistors is given. We can able to choose what is the value of resistor we require. So after then, we just click on this button. That resistor will be placed on our board. So resistor is placed. So if you want to make more resistors, you just click on it towards the board. Where and all you click, with that, the resistors will be placed there. So now I am taking a diode. So a diode is going to be placed on the board. So what is the number of the diode? So we can able to identify what type of diode is this from the identified number, as the electronics teachers may know. So like this way, from the place part, we can identify the components required for making the electronic circuits and place it on the board. Then we can arrange it. So here is the supply voltage, a capacitor, a resistor, a diode is all placed on the board. So now I am making a wire connection, how to connect these components. So if your connections are correct, you can mention it with the pink color, or else it will be shown in other color if your connection is wrong. That will show you while we are running the circuits. So this will make your students to repeat their experiment with the different values of the resistors as well as the capacitor, which is not possible in lab for the sake of time. So here they made the circuit. So now the ground should be taken to place with the capacitor. So they are going to search for the ground. So now the ground is chosen from the list. So here the voltage is off. So we have to give specify what should be the value of the voltage. So click on that or double click it. Then we can place the value. Now, as it is an AC source, we need to fix the frequency of that AC source. So frequency also fixed. I am changing the values of the resistance. First it is made it as 1K. Now it is changed as 2K. So once you click on that apparatus, we can able to change. So measurements were made. So now I am going to save this circuit with a new name. So I just added. So after saving, just click on the button. You look at here, we are having one play button here. When you click on that play button, we will get the simulation. So for time rated simulation, we have to give the required time. How much time we need to run the simulation. So I just fix it as 5 milliseconds and maximum step size. How many transition operation we have to fix. So either for 2 seconds or how many, then you click on this apply button. So now it is going to perform the simulation. So it is going to on your one, going to place the voltmeters. So now our circuit is ready. If it is a new one, we can add this to the public also. So once I am creating a design, if I saved it on the public profile, anyone from anywhere can access that circuit for their reference on and also to simulate. Now you look at here, the simulation is ready. The voltage value is given here. If you want to get the complete cycle, we have to extend the time period. In the same way, we can perform this one in the online also. You look at here, in online already the circuit is available. In online the circuit is available. They extend the time period of simulation. Now they are getting the sine wave. In online, I am just taking the sine to square converter circuit. Now you click on open circuit button. The circuit is open. The circuit is open. For this also you need a login. Now my circuit is ready. My circuit is ready. So my circuit is used the different components. All the component descriptions are rated here. I'm going to stimulate the circuit. The graph sheet is here. It is going to give you the output form of the given circuit. So once I click the simulation button, the circuit is simulating and it is going to give you the result. So the sine wave input is converted into the square wave. So without having a CRO, the students can able to view what is the output of the given circuit and how we can able to measure the width of these uptime period and load time period we can able to use. So this is the another software which is very much interesting. Those who are the beginners, kindly use the PSpice student version. If you are familiarized with that one, then we can move with the upper versions of PSpice, or either instead of PSpice, you can also use Multisim or Circuit online software for making electronic circuits. So the next thing, it's a PSpice. It is another one, same as that of the Algordo, that is called Colorado. Here also you can perform the simulation experiments. I just skip on these. So for effectiveness of VLab, it is not easy with the single lecture. You have to make yourself practice with all these labs to get more understanding about this one. So flipping a book will not make you learn, but reading it, it will. So just clicking through VLabs experiments will not make you learn, doing it will. So I thank all the participants as well as the management and especially HOD of Physics, Mrs. Suya, for giving me a wonderful opportunity to share my knowledge about these online tools for the experimental science. I hope that you will enjoy the session as well as my first slide said, you may learn some lesson or you may get a good friend from these past 1.5 hours session. I thank each and everyone once again. Thank you all.
Tina madam, are you there? Tina ma'am?
Hello?
Can you able to hear me, ma'am?
Once again, ma'am. Hello?
Can you able to hear me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful and useful session. I think you have shared a nice presentation with us today, ma'am.
Thank you.
The participants' knowledge on this virtual lab. So it's time to have the question and answer session now. Madam, there are some few questions in the chat box. Can you clarify it now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, tell me.
Okay. Shall I read the question, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Vishali Periyasamy has asked, are there any apps available for these virtual labs?
Ma'am, we are having, the MHRD has maintained only one virtual lab that is called www.blab.co.in. For schools, they are using the same one that is www.olab.in. These two are the websites maintained by our MHRD. The other things, that is the Algodo, Color2Go or PHET, Proxy Lab, Lab Testers, etc. were maintained by the private sectors, but that are also free up to some extent. That is, except the remote triggering labs, all the simulation and modeling based labs were free to use. So you can able to use that also.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Then Umagi has asked, how can I register for virtual lab?
Hello?
Ma'am, someone has asked, how can I register for virtual lab?
How can?
I register for virtual lab.
I didn't get you, Suyama.
How register for this lab?
Ma'am, you just click on www.blab.co.in. Then in that website, at the rightmost top, you will have the option of sign in or sign up. From that, you click for the first time, you just click on the button of sign up. Then use that one to fill up all your details of mail ID, phone number, institutional details, etc. You will promote it for to get the username and password. Username is your mail ID. Password you have to generate it for the first time. Then using that, you can able to access all the things.
Madam.
Then one more question.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
மேடம், அதாவது நான் வந்து இப்ப ஆன்லைன்ல இதே மாதிரி எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட் இருக்கிறப்ப ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் காட்ட முடியுமா? ஆன்லைன்ல கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறப்ப. ஹலோ.
கேளுங்க சார்.
மேடம், இப்ப வந்து நான் வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல கிளாஸ் எடுத்துட்டு இந்த நான் காட்டிக்கிட்டே ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் இதை காட்ட முடியுங்களா?
Please unmute your audio, sir. Please unmute your audio, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Please tell me your name.
Madam.
Ma'am, sir, you can able to show this to students also. நீங்க ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்க்கு இத கண்டிப்பா
ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்க்கு காட்ட முடியுங்களா அந்த டயத்துல? அதான் கேக்குறேன். ஆன்லைன்லயே போடலாம். இது அப்படியே காட்டிக்கலாம்.
ஆன்லைன்ல நீங்க உங்களோட சிஸ்டம்ல வச்சிட்டு ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்க்கு நீங்க காமிக்க முடியும் சார். only thing is உங்களுக்கு இன்டர்நெட் கனெக்ஷன் இருந்தது அப்படினா
இருக்குது. ஓகே ஓகே. ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கறப்ப இத போட்டுட்டு அப்படியே போட்டுடலாம். அப்படியே போட்டுடலாம். அப்ப மேடம்
நான் உங்களுக்கு மாதிரி நீங்க உங்களோட ஸ்கிரீன்ல வந்து அத ஷேர்
பண்ணலாம் மேடம். ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது மேடம்.
Thank you sir. Thank you.
Meena ma'am, one more question is that can you tell me whether we have to pay the host for using this lab? Can you tell me whether we have to pay the host for using this virtual lab?
Fees, no ma'am. It is entirely free for using all the faculty members as well as for the students. No more fees is available for remote trigger, except remote triggered B labs. All the labs are free to use.
Okay ma'am. Okay ma'am. One more thing. Yeah, madam, you can also scroll the chat box and see the questions.
Which
we
one,
got
ma'am?
posted, ma'am.
Ma'am, good morning. I'm
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me? I'm Raj. Ma'am, good morning.
Website in the chat box. So blab.co.in. This is a website. And the next one is PHET, online simulation. This is the another website. And Algodo, it's a website. PSpice 9.1 version. This you can download it and install in your system, then you can use it. Any other?
Yes, ma'am. There's another question. What is the eligibility for an institute to be a nodal institute? What is the procedure for that?
Hello?
Vishali has asked, what is the eligibility for an institute to be a nodal institute?
Ma'am, for getting the nodal institution in MHRD website, that is in VLab, there is an option for nodal centers. So through your principal, you just send an application. The minimum requirement is your institution should have a minimum of 250 students. That is the only requirement they have given. So if you have 250 students, you just apply through your principal to MHRD in email. They will give back to you with all the details. Once you fill up that forms and send back to them, they will give you individual mail IDs as well as username and password for each and every student. So without registration, we can able to get it for all our students of UG as well. Is it useful? Yes, for PG or experiment separately. So for that, PSpice is highly useful because you can able to perform all your 555 timer, counter, voltage analyzer, analog to digital, digital to analog, everything is there. And also for PG second year, for microprocessor also, we are having 8580 simulator separately for performing all the experiments except one or two.
Ma'am, shall I say the next question, ma'am? Yeah, ma'am.
Hello?
Shall I ask the next question, ma'am?
Shall we conclude?
One more question, ma'am.
Yes.
Chandrasekhar has asked, is there any limitation on the use of virtual lab registered through HRD ministry websites? And how long it will be having access after registration?
Ma'am, there will be no limitation for using the MHRD lab. You can able to use for lifelong, I think so, because till date MHRD will not give any restrictions to the usage of this one. So you can use this link for UG, PG as well as be the time. Even at the midnight, you can able to go with the VLabs.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I think we shall conclude it, ma'am. Participants, would anyone like to give feedback? Please give your name in the chat box. I will enable the audio and video of yours. Anyone is willing, please give your name in the chat box. Oral feedback. Nitya has asked, please wait, ma'am. I will unmute you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Please manage.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, madam. I'm Pankaj Godke from Aurangabad, Maharashtra, from Maharashtra Institute of Technology.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Yes. Thank you, organizers, and thank you, madam, for wonderful and informative session, especially in the lockdown period where students are not able to attend college regularly, or we, as a teacher, we cannot teach them face to face as we usually teach practicals. We can teach theory part online by using Zoom or Google Meet or any other platform, but the practical, to conduct practical was very difficult part. And now with the help of this virtual lab, you have shown a very good way to conduct practicals. I found 2 to 3 different practicals right from your presentation to conduct in my syllabus. So I will try to perform practical right from their home as their pace. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello.
Okay, wind up this. Yes, madam.
Ma'am, I'm Nagaswarnamukhi from Chennai. Ma'am, இந்த செஷன் ரொம்ப 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 நல்லா இருந்தது. Use பண்ணோம். Thank you, ma'am. Very
Thank
good.
you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the organizers too. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So participant, with this we can wind up this question and answer session. Now I call upon Ms. Mariselvi for proposing the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mariselvi, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty for bringing this session a fruitful one. I thank our secretary, principal, and the director of our college for giving guidance and encouragement to organize this program. I convey my sincere thanks to our guest speaker, Dr. M. Meena from ST Hindu College, Nagarkoil, for taking time out and being here today. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful session. Finally, I also thank each and everyone who were behind this program for giving their support. I also thank the participants of this session. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Participants, we have uploaded the feedback link. You can fill it and you can submit so that you will receive the certificates within 1 week. Please verify the chat box for feedback link. Thank you so much, participants.
Thank you, one and all. I thank the participants as well as the organizers for the wonderful session. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meena, ma'am. Thank you so much.